One had one job. Hilarious footage captures Charles and the Queen getting stuck in a traffic jam of world leaders on the way to an engagement. This is the hilarious moment. Prince Charles and the Queen got stuck in a traffic jam in their own palace. The Prince of Wales was all set to be confirmed as the next head of the Commonwealth at a ceremony that had been perfectly choreographed. But the Queen's efforts to get to the stage and announce her son as the next leader were frustrated by a queue of 53 Commonwealth leaders. As she asks Charles what the hold-up is, he can be seen gesturing at the line in front of them as other royals appear bemused alongside them. Prime Minister Theresa May can be heard welcoming world leaders one after the other as they pile onto the stage at Buckingham Palace. The Duchess of Cornwall, Duke of Cambridge and Prince Harry all gather in a confused crowd before they finally head in with Charles and the Queen. Finally, she announces her son as her replacement as leader of the Commonwealth, which has a total population of 2.3 billion, with unanimous approval from those present. Tonight's BBC One documentary Charles at 70 explored the Prince of Wales' family relationships, charitable work and lobbying that critics regard as meddling. His sons, Princes William and Harry, offered an intimate portrait of their father and the challenges that they have faced together. Wife Camilla reassured the public that he looks forward calmly to his looming responsibility. Prince William wishes his workaholic father could spend more time with his grandchildren, the documentary to mark Charles' 70th birthday reveals. The Prince of Wales is described as a brilliant grandfather who will spend hours crawling on the floor and making silly noises with his little granddaughters and grandsons. But the prince can be distracted because he is so dedicated to his work, to the extent that his sons say he sometimes falls asleep with the documents he is reading stuck to his face. Asked whether his father has time to be a grandfather on top of everything else, William answers carefully. In recent years, Charles is said to have privately expressed his frustration that he doesn't get to see as much of his grandchildren as the Middleton family, a claim his aides have always furiously dismissed. But his elder son makes clear that he would like to have more family time with his hard-working father. William says, "It's something I'm working more heavily on, put it that way. I think he does have time for it, but I would like him to have more time with the children." Now he's reached his 70th year. It's a perfect time to consolidate a little bit because, as most families would do, you are worried about having them around and making sure their health's okay. And he's the fittest man I know, but equally I want him to be fit until he's 95. So having more time with him at home would be lovely, and being able to play around with the grandchildren. Because when he's there, he's brilliant. But we need him there as much as possible. Camilla adds, he will get down on his knees and crawl about with them for hours, making funny noises and laughing, and my grandchildren adore him. Absolutely adore him. He reads Harry Potter and he can do all the different voices, and I think children really appreciate that. Aides say Charles could not be prouder to be a grandfather. The prince happily shows the documentary crew an arboretum that he has planted for his eldest grandchild at Birk Hall, his Scottish home, which he calls George's Wood, referring to his passion for the environment and lifelong campaign to highlight the perils of climate change. Harry reveals his father still can't help banging the drum even when he sits down with his sons to dinner. He tells his brother, "You know how frustrated he gets." But he's done an amazing job, and without telling us what he should be doing or the direction that we should go in, he's just let us learn from the nature of the job, learning from him, learning from Mummy. The program reveals how Charles would take his sons litter picking when they were on holiday with him. Harry reveals, he's a stickler for turning lights off. And that's now something that I'm obsessed with as well, which is insane because actually my wife certainly goes, "Well, why turn the lights off? It's dark." I go, "We only need one light, we don't need like 6, and all of a sudden it becomes a habit, and those small habit changes he's making, every single person can do. And I think that is one of the key lessons certainly that I felt that he taught us. William agrees, adding, "I know I've got serious OCD on light switches now, which is terrible." He does life the way that he advocates. He did take to heart the criticism quite a lot when he was younger. If there is one thing the prince's family is agreed on, it's their desire, not that he will ever listen, for him to slow down. Harry jokes, he does need to slow down. This is a man who has dinner ridiculously late at night and then goes to his desk later that night and will fall asleep on his notes to the point of where he'll wake up with a piece of paper stuck to his face.